Hello everyone. Today we'll be discussing about the concept of strong naming. Strong naming, it's nothing but it's an identifier. You can say a unique identifier which is being used to communicate. Mainly, it's a unique identifier which is being used for each and every file in the assembly. Okay, which represent, for example, your name only, which is said to be a unique identifier which represents you. Same way in the assembly, if I want to bifurcate the different files, I'll be using a strong name to bifurcate the files with their particular public keys, public and private keys which are being assigned to those particular files. We are said to be knowing, okay, this is said to be a strong named concept. So when you say a strong naming concept, it is said to be having the friendly name which is given to any of the assembly, and it is said to be having a version number which is being assigned to that particular file. Then public key which is there. Public means which is said to be accessed by everyone. Everybody is said to be accessing the file publicly. Then it is said to be a public key value. An optional culture identifier, it's nothing but it is an identifier which is being used to separately identify each and every language. Okay, separately it's nothing but, okay, I want to specify in which location which file is being present, what are its attributes, which files belong to that particular file. That is said to be optional culture. And whereas embedded digital signature which is being said to be having is nothing but each and every file has a representation in a different way within the system. That representation is called as a hash code, a numeric format which is being represented, that is a hash code. So that particular file with concerned hash code, that it is there in the strong. Okay, all these are there in the strong name. File name, version number, public or private key. Then you have the optional culture, to where to adopt, when to adopt, that is your optional culture is there. And embedded digital signature is there, where you can directly get the information through the help of a hash code. These and all things are there in the strong name. Okay, in the strong naming concept, this is also said to be present. You can check out this strong name. It has a manifest. You can say a public or private key. It is there. Then you have a type metadata. It's nothing but related to your class, the class names, objects which are being used within the class. That it is there in the type metadata. Then you have the CIL code. Like each and every code which you are said to be writing in any of the languages, it will be transferred into the system oriented language. That is said to be your CIL code which is said to be there. And the digital signature, it's nothing but when I verify, when I check your data, at the end it is important to have a digital signature that I represent the data in a different format through the help of your format which is being generated, that is concerned. So that important digital signature is there in the structure of the strong naming. And assembly hash code, as we had discussed, that it is said to be present with a public or private key, it is being there. So all these which will be there which belong to a digital signature. Okay, so this thing is there. Then in the strong naming of an assembly, you can check out how it is being represented through an example here. Okay, how it is being generated as you have an executable file of the strong naming. Okay, that executable file, whichever file you execute within the system, it has a sn.ex extension, nothing but a strong naming example, it will be there. You have strong name, then your key, it will be there, public or private key, it will be there, and the file name with the snk, it is said to be present. And where it is said to be present is your particular assembly, it will be present in the C drive, that is C drive, my test file, and within that a strong naming key, it is said to be assigned to that particular file, that it will be there. Along with that, in the assembly you have the major, minor, build and version, like versions are there, 4 parts are there for your version which is being used. So major, it is related to the system admin who represents it, whatever changes you do, that it is your major part. Minor is nothing but system admin only, okay, I put an external feature into it, that is minor. Build, it is said to be generated by the programmers who are said to be using that particular program, executing the program. And if any additional things are there, that is in the version part, that is your programmer, he will be implementing, and additional any other things are there related to the program, it is in the part of the version. All these things are present in the strongly naming. Then installing a GSC, it's also an important thing within the system. Where it is said to be present is your global assembly cache. It will be present in C:\Windows assembly and your GSC. Mainly how to adopt is just your GSC file which is there, it has to be dragged and dropped into this particular C:\Windows/assembly. Okay. And installing and sharing it, it is nothing but just drag and dropping in the things. This GSC nothing but your global utility.exe file. It consists of the features of installing and uninstalling and displaying the features. So through /i you install the strong name, uninstall through the help of /u, and display it through /l. The assembly it is there. And another concept is there in the strong naming concept is your delayed signing. Delayed signing, okay, it is mainly used for the purpose of the organization. Whichever organization which will be implementing this strong naming concept, that uses this delayed signing. Okay, the system administrator who want to make your data to be accessed by only those people who are there within the organization. Then he uses the key, your strong naming file which is there. It will be given the permission P concept, nothing but your public or private key, your file which is there, and the test file which you have run within the system. Two files will be there. One is the new file and the test file which is there within the system. Comparison happens. Okay, when the matching happens, delayed signing, I'll be checking for the file whether the same extract is said to be present with both of the files. Okay, the delayed signing I assign it by using the true facility, and that particular file it will be verified. Whichever file it is there within the assembly, it checks for dynamic linking files. Both the files whether they are said to be existing. Your file and the particular file which is there in the system, it will be verified through the help of the -vr. Delayed signing verifies that particular file, whichever file which is there within your file plus the system file, it verifies it. And afterwards, okay, what happens is I want to check it, I assign it that particular file which is there. What do I do is, if the signature which is there, which is being assigned public and private, I provide a signature which is said to be correct. Then what will happen is that particular file, it will be checked, reassigned for that particular user, and that verification process it closes, and it will be assigning that particular file to that concerned person. So verification, reassigning that particular file, and that particular modification after verification process, it will be considered and shown to that concerned person only. Not all the people it will be accessed, only that concerned person only can access. So that verification it will be done by the delayed signing. Okay, so in the concept you have learned about the strong naming concept and the delayed signing concept today. Okay, in the next session we will be continuing with the other parts of the session of the assembly. Okay, thank you.